Welcome to IQD Dinar News, your go-to source for the latest updates on currency exchange rates, revaluation news, and insights into the Iraqi dinar. Stay informed and ahead of the curve with our timely analysis and breaking developments. Markets' statement reflects an ongoing conversation in the foreign currency exchange world, particularly among those closely monitoring the Iraqi dinar's potential revaluation. He mentions that bankers are beginning to see certain rate changes. However, these rates are considered by some to be lower than anticipated, which leads to speculation that they might not reflect the final or true value of the dinar post-revaluation. Instead, these could be what he calls placeholder rates, test rates, or even in-country rates. Placeholder rates are often seen during transitions or updates in financial systems when currencies are undergoing evaluation or recalibration. These rates might not represent the final, globally traded value but are instead used to temporarily assign a value while waiting for the official one. In other words, a placeholder rate is a provisional value, possibly intended to test the waters or to serve as a proxy while more accurate or stable rates are being determined. Test rates are a bit more speculative, and they point to the idea that the banking systems or currency exchanges might be running simulations. When a country like Iraq is contemplating a revaluation, various entities, it may not necessarily mean that the revaluation has occurred but that systems are being tested for future changes. In-country rates also come into play here. These are rates that may only apply domestically within Iraq and might not be reflected in the international currency market just yet. Often, countries with a managed or pegged currency system will have different rates for internal use versus what is seen in international exchange markets. For example, the internal value of a currency may be artificially lower or higher to control inflation, manage import-export balance, or protect the economy in times of transition. Markets hints that while the bankers are seeing these changes, they are not entirely convinced that these are the final rates. The term "a little low" suggests that the community expecting the revaluation of the dinar anticipates a much higher value than what is currently being displayed. This lower rate could signify one of two things: either the revaluation hasn't fully materialized, or the rate being displayed is meant for internal purposes and not yet intended for international markets. The general expectation in the currency speculation community is that the dinar's revaluation, when it happens, will be significant. The rates being shown to bankers right now, which are lower than expected, might cause some to be cautious in their optimism. However, the very fact that rates are showing up at all is a promising sign for those who have been waiting for a currency adjustment. It implies movement behind the scenes in the financial world, even if the numbers currently displayed do not match the lofty expectations. It's important to understand why such careful steps are taken during the revaluation process. A sudden, large change in the value of a country's currency can have widespread implications, both domestically and globally. On the domestic side, an increase in the dinar's value could lead to inflationary pressures if not managed carefully. People who hold large amounts of dinar would suddenly find themselves wealthier, which could cause a surge in spending and, consequently, drive up prices. On the international side, a substantial revaluation could disrupt trade balances, especially if Iraq's imports and exports are suddenly repriced. The banking system, therefore, must tread carefully. Introducing placeholder or test rates allows them to gauge how systems will handle the change. Financial software must be updated, currency conversion algorithms must be tested, and most importantly, the liquidity to back the revalued currency must be in place. When Markets refers to what we expect, he's alluding to the rates speculated in the currency exchange community, rates that are believed to be more reflective of Iraq's true economic potential once the dinar is fully revalued. The process of currency revaluation is intricate, involving multiple stages and entities. The Central Bank of Iraq, international monetary organizations, and large commercial banks all play roles in ensuring the transition is smooth. Each entity has its own set of concerns and priorities, and the rates seen by bankers could reflect any number of these concerns. For instance, the Central Bank of Iraq might want to maintain a conservative in-country rate initially to control inflation, while international banks might be preparing for a more robust global rate once the revaluation is fully realized. There's also the question of timing. Currency revaluations don't happen overnight, and when they do, they are often phased in gradually to prevent economic shocks. This could be another reason why the rates currently seen are lower than expected. The process might still be in its early stages, with rates being adjusted incrementally rather than all at once. Markets' reference to rates that are close to what we expect suggests that while the final revaluation rate hasn't been achieved, the displayed rates are a positive indicator of progress. The fact that bankers are seeing anything at all is an indication that the financial system is preparing for change. It's a sign that the infrastructure is being tested, adjusted, and readied for a full revaluation. However, this also raises the possibility that there could be delays or revisions in the final stages. Just because rates are being displayed doesn't mean the process will be completed imminently. Central banks and governments may still be working behind the scenes to fine-tune the revaluation. They may want to see how these initial test rates affect various sectors of the economy before fully committing to a new rate. This cautious approach allows them to correct any potential issues before the revaluation becomes official and widespread. The overall sentiment in Markets' statement is one of cautious optimism. While the rates currently being displayed may not meet the high expectations of those who have been waiting for a substantial revaluation, their mere presence is a significant milestone. It indicates that the process is moving forward, even if at a slower pace than some might hope. Those involved in currency speculation understand that these things take time and that placeholder or test rates are often part of the process. In summary, the rate changes bankers are seeing, while possibly lower than expected, represent a key step in the journey toward the Iraqi dinar's revaluation. Whether these rates are placeholders, test figures, or in-country rates, they signal that movement is happening behind the scenes. Markets' statement encourages patience, as the process of revaluing a currency is complex and requires careful management to avoid unintended economic consequences. For now, the rates being seen may not be final, but they are an indication that the long-anticipated revaluation could be on the horizon, bringing with it the potential for significant changes in both Iraq's economy and the global currency market. Thanks for tuning in to IQD Dinar News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more updates on the Iraqi dinar and global currency trends, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.